path. I don't know if you can see it. Goes all the way down that way there, and all the way down to the front. I thought I'd give it a go. The trouble is, to get to the path is down there. I think getting up will be quite easy, but I think getting down is going to be the issue. So, are you with me? Should we do it? Horrible feeling, I've lost my keys. Oh my God. Do you want to get that feeling you think, where have I left my keys? Got them. Right, so I can't see the path going down any other way to get me started, but I best go and have a quick look first of all. How are we doing? You alright? This is just pretty much a roundup vlog, really. Can I get down anywhere else? I have a lot of stuff over the last few months. Somebody stopped. I don't know why somebody stopped. People stop, I don't know. Ah, there's an easier path, I think. I see an easier one. You wonder sometimes when people stop, you go, they stop because I've done something that shouldn't be allowed. There's the path down. Sometimes, right? Sometimes the path in front of you isn't always the clearest one. Good morning. That's a lot easier. I thought I'd get out nice and early. I thought I wanted to do a roundup. But the trouble is, what's early these days? It was 9:15 when I got off the bike, right? Now, I know some of you have most probably done an hour's worth of work already. Whereas to me, I suppose getting into bed at 2:15 in the morning. IKEA has got a lot to answer for. That's all I'm saying. It's everywhere. It's like the Druids. It's almost like a Doctor Who episode, that, isn't it? Do you remember the one with the statues? Came closer. I never used to watch Doctor Who. It's the only one I watched. So it's very well written. I thought, prepare yourself because this could be another long one. I've got Ray Duffy, if you're watching, I've got your little tripod out today, so I'm going to give it a go.
Thanks, Ray.
So we get too many close-ups, Ray, it's down to you. Mark, thank you so much for the hat.
Thanks, Mark.
There's a lot of stuff that's been done over the last few months off the channel, and the channel's growing to, it's growing to a level that I'm really quite happy with, to be honest with you. It's really the involvement from you guys, the comments, they're never one-line comments, they're always like paragraphs, so they're fantastic. And the channel growth itself is doing really, really well, so thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Trouble is, I've got to be careful that I don't, or that the channel doesn't get into some sort of negative rut, because that's not what I'm about. I don't really like to think I'm a negative person, to be honest with you. I just want to show that, like the last one, even happy people, sometimes I've got stuff that makes them unhappy. They are everywhere, by the way. These piles of stones. All the way as you walk down here, could be a beacon just to show you where you're going. But then also, as I said, over the last few months, we've put some out, or I've put some content out that sometimes might need a little bit more of a dressing. There was one. I'm going to try and keep this unedited. I'm just going to literally try and just blether and then just put this out as one big one. So if you're with us, maybe put a pause on, grab a cup of tea, and see where you go. Because I don't even know, this takes us down the front, but obviously if I've walked down it, I've got to walk back up it again as well. I've got a day off from the dog. Let's start off with that. I've got a day off from the dog. Some of you know that we've got a dog, got Rolo. What you guys don't know is that we also have a cat, and the cat's called Bella. We've got a friend who needs a dog, their dog to be looked after for a couple of days in December. And we went, yeah, we'll do it. And then we went, hang on a minute. What happens if this dog doesn't get on with Bella? So they're coming around to the house today. They're a friend of Shelley's. They're coming around to the house today, and they're going to bring the dog just to make sure that the dog and this new dog, Lacey and Bella, get on together. And if they do, then fantastic. So it gives me a day off. That means I've got a lion. So I went to work last night, finished at 1 o'clock in the morning. It was absolutely rammed. It was packed. It was brilliant. you think to yourself, awesome, I've got a lie in. We've got friends over at the moment, or one of Shelley's friends is over at the moment. So I thought to myself, that's great. It means I can have a drink. So I got home last night, had a couple of beers, went to bed, woke up this morning, wide awake, bang. Why does that happen? And it happens most probably because I've got a lot of things going on in my mind at the moment that just need talking through, most probably, just need bringing out. And I think if I do that, then it just might, because I've got a very, very busy few days ahead of me at the moment. I'll just explain those in a second. Before I do that, look at this. I am actually now, as you can see, I am in the middle of nowhere and my bike is right up there. But look how somebody's actually took the time to create a path through the middle of nowhere for people's benefit. Whoever's done that is kudos to you, man. I'm wide awake. I wake up about 7:30. I think it's the dog just, tip-tapping around on the tiles. And he's, I think he waited to go out, to be honest with you, so I got up and let him out, had a coffee. So I thought, I'll get out nice and early, do an early vlog. It's 9:15, man, as I said to you before. There's about, somebody been in work for an hour most probably. So I do apologise. It does sound extremely condescending to say that I'm out for an early vlog. I'm just actually out, and I'm out vlogging. There was a vlog that I did in San Juan, which is about 4 miles over that way, and it's talking about ducks in a row, trying to get me ducks in a row, and that was a really important one, I think. And I got a great, somebody sent me a Facebook post, Chris. I couldn't find it, I'm looking for it today, but it's like, I said, I need to get me ducks in a row. Somebody went, my ducks aren't in a row. In fact, I can't even find my ducks, and I think one of my ducks has turned into a squirrel or something like that. It did make me laugh. It really made me tickle, so thank you so much. One of the things about getting me ducks in a row is I've got a path that splits here. I've got a path that splits. I've got one going off that way, and I've got one going off that way. Would you take the left path, or would you take the right path? Which way would you choose? Which way would you choose? I'm going to go left, because the path looks better made. When you don't have your ducks in a row, in fact, let me just save this. When you don't have your ducks in a row, that can be quite unsettling. That can be quite, I'm going to say mental health wise, but it just plays on your mind all the time. And one of the things about ducks in a row was my daughter Alice, and there's two things I'm going to talk about that. I missed her. I absolutely missed her. So then trying to get your ducks in a row, the first thing I thought to myself was, I'll tell you what, Shelley did it right. She went, well, just go back, go see her. So I've booked the flights, and I actually fly back to the UK tomorrow. I go to Newcastle tomorrow, fly on Friday. I'm staying in, coming Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday, and then fly back out on a Monday. I think it's going to be a bit cold for me. Why did I choose November? Last time I was back was also Novemberish, I think. Do you know that moment you think you chose the wrong path? That's metaphorical, isn't it? I want to get down that way, see what's over this brow. If this takes me off this way, then it's like, oh, going a different way. So I'm over the moon with her. I'm going to go back. I can't wait to see her. We're going to go to the pictures on Saturday. And I've tried to fill the day up, tried to fill the time up. The reason being is, kids, she's 19, man, but conversation starters and fillers is sometimes can be a bit tough. So I've tried to fill it up. We're going to go to the pictures on Saturday. Sunday, we're going to take a drive down to Manchester, and I'm going to see my dad and my stepmom, and Alice gets a chance to go and see her grandparents, which is nice as well. So that's happening. So it's a busy time in front of us. But that's about, acting on getting your ducks in a row, which I'm over the moon with, that I've done that. That also then sounds a little bit contradictory from the time then I said, well, hang on a minute, I wanted her out for Christmas, but the, due to the attendance record, I couldn't get her out at a price that's justifiable to myself or to ourselves. And therefore, I think that, it's a lesson to be learned, and therefore, maybe she shouldn't come. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
For everybody that got involved in that. Do you know what the thing is? I'm just thinking to myself, this is downhill all the way, which means it's going to be uphill on the way back. It's going to be a bit of a slog. Thank you so much for everybody who got in, words slipped me. Well, there's a first, isn't it? For everybody that got in contact, that's what I was after. Stop and think. For those that got in contact with me, thank you so much. It meant a lot. It's you've actually changed the mindset of my view, which when I put that out there, I was also prepared to go, hang on a minute, You've got to be listening to what people have to say here. Not necessarily go with the majority, but have a listen to what people say. And because of that, I'm going to say a compromise was reached where she can't get out for the full 2 weeks, but we have actually got Christmas Day and New Year's Day together, and then she flies Christmas Day and New Year's Eve together, and she flies back on New Year's Day. So I'm actually over the moon for that as well, and plus she's extremely excited about coming over for then as well, so she gets to spend Christmas with me, Shelley, and also her sister Megan, which is good. So there's the first couple of things about just getting ducks in a row, etc. It does make me feel a lot better, even though I know I've got a busy time ahead of us in the next 4 or 5 days. I'm over the moon for it, but I think that's one of the main reasons for lack of sleep. That's the first things. That brings us back on. That actually brings us on to Megan. I know she's doing her own little vlogs at the moment. Megan's doing fantastic. She is loving life, absolutely loving life. She is over the moon that she's here in Tenerife. She's over the moon that she's here with her partner, Will. If you check out her channel, Meg Cosgrove, you'll see some of the vlogs she's done. Her main concern that they've got over here is trying to find somewhere to live. The reason being is when the pandemic happened, the cost of living obviously became tighter. Will moved into a studio, not a bad place, up in Las Americas, no, in Torviscas. And the owner of that, it's a rented accommodation, the owner of that now wants to turn it back into a holiday rental because he knows he'll get more money holiday rental wise. So he's told Will 2 months ago, look, you need to start finding somewhere else now so we can do it. And the problem is that the prices in Tenerife, there is definitely a housing shortage in Tenerife at this moment in time for long lets. And they spent 2 months, somebody lives there. Well, there's somewhere to look for, isn't it? Look at that. You see that? There you go, he lives there. There is definitely a housing crisis for long lets. They're really, really struggling to find somewhere to live. Now, if anything, it took us 4 or 5 months to find somewhere. You could say for kids that age living in Tenerife, it's a luxury problem, but it's still a problem. So we'll have to. She'll keep you posted with that. I know she's been looking around for places, but it's more of hearsay than hearsay will get you a place over here rather than actually the advertising estate agents. Don't even bother with estate agents. The reason being is if a landlord wants, let's say, 800 a month, the estate agents will stick their 300 quid on top. So the 800 then becomes 1100 a month. And then they'll ask for a deposit of maybe 4 months before it goes. So asking for 4.5 grand before you even get in, which is just crazy. Now, I've never been down here before, and I can just now see there's an absolute mini village going on around here of people living in the caves, which is such a bizarre thing to see. So I've got an idea who's made the pathways. Look at this, see what you think of this. So there's always an option of where you can live. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 homes. 6 homes I can see already. It's amazing. The dexterity of man, the versatility of man, I don't know. I'm miles away from my bike, but we'll keep going. We'll keep going. I told you it'd be a long one. These stones are still here. Like, there's a couple more things I wanted to say to you. I've got a bit sidetracked with the village, the mini village. That's a strange place to live. Like, can you hear something? There's a guy singing with a ukulele. Each to their own. Each to their own. I did a vlog last week about saying it's okay not to be happy. That was directed at people who think that the grass is greener on the other side, when in fact it might look greener, but it still needs mowing. Don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic place. I love it, absolutely love it. but we've still got our day-to-day trials and tribulations, and we've still got to crack on with our day-to-day stuff, you know, our work that we do as well. But it was more one of those ones, just like, don't get caught up in the facade of, you know, not everybody, but some people do get caught up in the facade that, you know, their life must be poorer because this life is this, and it's not the case at all. So I hope that came across with sincerity and not just as a matter of fact statement that sometimes I tend to do. Our day-to-day stuff at the moment is, I don't know if you're aware, but somebody hit the car about 2 months ago. We were leaving Hoppies, and there's a tunnel that you go under to get onto the motorway, and I'm stuck behind a coach, and it's on a hill. And cars over here, the drivers, including coaches, they're notorious for rollback before they actually pull forward. So because I'm aware of that, I gave this coach, you know, more room for it so he could roll himself back, which he did. He went forward, and then he stopped because obviously a car must have come down, you know, come the other way at speed. So he stopped. I didn't move because I thought to myself, yes, I actually saw it all happening, but the guy behind me didn't see. He saw the coach move, therefore he thought I should move, even though the coach stopped, and therefore he went straight into the back of me. And it was a bit like the parking ticket one. You know, the moment that happens, you just know for yourself, like, oh, the pain up the arse this is going to be to get sorted, even though you know it's not your fault, even though you know you're insured, even though, do you know what I mean? And the worst thing about this, the thing about me is, when it comes to personal possessions, I'm actually quite particular about my personal possessions. The phone that I'm filming off now doesn't have a scratch. My computer is like in a case at home. The laptop has its own case. My motor, the scooter, is cleaned all the time, diligently. And it's just these sort of things that I look after all the time. And then somebody does that to the car. And the trouble is, you can't have a decent car over here because the cars, you know, somebody says that they're usually saying that the cars have more hits than the Beatles at the moment, you know what I mean, on the back. And none of it's my fault. And you just look at it and you start falling out of love, or I do anyway. Is it just me? I start falling out of love with the car. I just go, oh man, hey, this is just not great, you know what I mean? So now this was the final straw for me, and it just almost just went, I'm done. We know the aircon's not working already. We know it's like 500-600 quid. So at the moment, I don't really fuss about the aircon. Shelley does, because I drive with the windows down. It doesn't bother my hair, but obviously I can understand. But 500-600 quid just to sort your hair out, ladies, come on. I'm kidding. Final straw, and this is 2 months ago, and it was his fault. And he stopped, and he admitted fault. And the police came over and he admitted fault, and we did all the paperwork, and I sent the paperwork off. And the insurance company, his insurance company, declined the fault, and I had to appeal it, and they wouldn't get back to us. And you're supposed to do it within 10 days, and they didn't do it in 10 days, and it's just like, what a pain up the arse. So anyway, yesterday they finally accepted the fault. So now I've got to find a garage to get it in, and it's all in foreign language. I've got to find a garage to get it in. I've got to find the garage that will, I've got to get an estimate. I've got to leave it there for the day so the insurance guy can come along and check the estimate and make sure it's fine. And it's just like, you just know the mountain in front is a big mountain. Got more people living here, like, look at this. There's a few more. There's one over there as well. You see that one over there? So I'm in the middle of it all. I think I've come far enough. I'm going to walk back. So I've got to go and get the insurance sorted, which is I'll get the car fixed. The only good side to that is that all the other dings on the bumper will now disappear because the guy that hit me last time needs a back bumper, so I'm going to get a new bumper. But then you've got to go, hang on a minute. They'll say it needs a new bumper. This is Tenerife. We need to order one in. So that's going to take a couple of months from Hyundai. Get it in from the mainland. And you know what it is sometimes, and this is the truth, you've just got to roll with it. You've just got to roll with it. Because Socks. The socks that you wear on your feet. Socks. If you spell socks, it's spelled S-O-C-K-S. And that's nearly translated to, it is what it is, in Spanish, S-O-C-K-S. So, and that brings me on to another good one. You might have seen the vlog of the teas last Sunday on the main channel. It's doing fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
For those that watched it. You might have seen one of I put under their work wife, Emma. Emma's our PR at Dillon's, and she's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. But she has to put up with a lot of stuff. She's the front of house. You know, people, not every time, every so often, people get leery, people get drunk, she's got to deal with it. And I worked Sunday night for an hour, and that was me done then till Tuesday. In the meantime, something escalated. It went massive. Tuesday morning, I'm getting a message from Emma saying, that's it, I'm done, I'm not doing it anymore. She says, I'm not here for this, I'm not here for that. And it's a friend who I've known now for a year and a half who's exploded really with a situation that's happened to her down at the bar. And this is something that I've learned in the past, which I never used to. I didn't react. When I was working in the car dealerships, it's a bit warm like. When I was working in the car dealerships and the sales execs used to come in, or the service, you used to always react to those problems. Straight away, react to the problem. Because that's what somebody who wants to be nice and wants to do the right thing tends to do. You react to a problem. Thus then making it your problem as well. What I actually tended to find was it was almost like a grenade. An initial problem is like a grenade. When something happens, boof, that's a grenade. Everybody tends to run around like headless chickens, shouting at the problem, the problem, the problem. When in fact, once the dust had settled, there was the actual problem. The settled dust, not the grenade. The grenade was just the instant reaction. It took me a couple of years to learn this. For myself to go, don't react to the grenade. React to the dust. That's the title of the vlog. So, when Emma sent me that voice message with everything in it, that was the initial grenade. So I heard it, wait to see what happens afterwards. I sent like a, virtual hug or, God bless or something. But I just left it. And then last night I went to work, sure enough, Emma's there. Boss was there, Donna. And I just tried to slowly dissect what was going on. And it was nowhere near as bad as the initial grenade. It's really an important lesson that I've learned for self-preservation. Is that the right word? I told you it's back uphill all the way back. I told you it's uphill all the way back. It's an important lesson for self-preservation of trying to get involved. Do you know what it is? Look at this. I'm in the middle of nowhere. Where have they gone? There they are. Look at that. I don't know if they're showing up. Massive ants. Lost. Don't react to the grenade. React to the dust, because the dust is never as bad as the grenade. That's what I definitely have learned when I was actually running dealerships and looking after dealerships. And because I told you how warm it was. It's and it's a lesson I've stood by. It's a lesson I've stood by myself for a long, long time, to be honest with you, and it seems to work for me. Might work for you. I just had to stop to go up a massive hill. Look, people taking the time out, man. People taking the time out. It's lovely, it makes the pathway nicer. Listen, I've kept you long enough. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
For all the people who take the time to put comments in, for all you backgrounders who just like to watch the content and see what we do, thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
I've got a busy few days ahead of me. I'm working tonight. I've got Newcastle tomorrow. I've got Manchester on Sunday, Tenerife back on Monday, and then back in work on Tuesday. So I've got a few busy days ahead. I just wanted to put this in. All the people that are coming over to see me, taking the time out to come over and just shake my hand and just say hi is brilliant. Thank you so much. You guys know who you are, and ladies, you know who you are. It's amazing. It's getting to a point where I'm actually struggling to keep up now because the channel's growing that big, and it's in a great way. It's overwhelming. So thank you so much. If you're not already subscribed, you know what to do. And as always, enjoy your day, guys. And I'll see you on the next one. I can just about see my bike. So I'm going home for a cup of tea, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys. Take it easy.